Hey, good morning, guys. You're here with Ashley and Goran for your live show here at Big Dogs for European football. I know it's a holiday and I know it's the day after Christmas, but hopefully you're going to stay with us, check out some winners we are about to give out, and hopefully you had a great Christmas. Hopefully you got something nice under the tree. If not, well, I guess better luck next year. But we are here to give you some winners, so hopefully that will make your day. How was your Christmas, Ashley?
Good. Relaxing. We just rode around the island, which takes a total of about 45 minutes to drive around
Must
the
be
whole.
nice.
It is, I won't lie.
Did you get anything nice under the Christmas tree?
Mostly I just got some nice chocolates and stuff that I like. So
I don't mind that.
no, I don't either. So yeah, we just kind of like watched a few Christmas movies and then, just kind of took it easy and lazy. Sorry, I'm staring at this score because it's already begun.
Yeah.
Really
Ticking clock
needed
time.
this. I was on the Scotland team, and I really needed them to keep a clean sheet. And the other team had one shot on goal, and it happened to go in. So it's looking like that kind of day to start
Yeah.
with.
I need one goal in that Club Bridge, Cerso Bridge match for my parlay, but that's about it. My previews haven't started yet. They started 10, so we'll see how that's going to go. But
Well, you're lucky
what
because the Scottish one was a premium for me. Those bastards.
what kind of pack do you have available still, Ashley, today?
Nothing yet, so I have to put up another one because these are my. I had two that started like over an hour ago. So
Okay. Yeah, we don't have a lot of games today. We got only six EPL matchups. Three of them were postponed for today. We got a couple of matchups in Belgium, and there's only one game left in Turkey, and that's about it from the bigger leagues in Europe, right?
yeah, and I
So
thought I had read where I thought the Tottenham match was going to be postponed, but I guess it's going ahead. It's
yeah, all the games that were postponed one back on Thursday or Friday, and that's it. And they're moving along with everything else. And as far as I see for Tuesday, everything is still scheduled. We got another six games on Tuesday, so there's probably more on Wednesday. Yeah, there's two more on Wednesday. Everything's scheduled for now, but we'll see. Hopefully, it stays that way. Good morning, Pedro.
good morning, Pedro, in Portugal. Yeah, I just totally lost my train. Oh, I was looking at the schedule today, and so the Italy Serie B, all of those are postponed. So I'm hoping that's not a sign of things to come in Italy Serie A. So like every single one of those, there was like
Yeah.
10 or 12 matches were postponed. I'm assuming COVID, but yeah. So hope that doesn't mean it's not looking good for Serie A.
Well, Syria is off until next week, I think, or
Yeah, I
maybe
know it,
maybe,
but
maybe 2 weeks ago, so it should be fine by then. But
yeah, hopefully.
yeah,
Hopefully.
now we got an hour about 50 minutes until the game starts in EPL. We have four matches at 10. We have one game at 12:30 and one game at 3 p.m. The lineups for those 10 a.m. games are out, so let's give it a go. Actually, let's start this show with Manchester City and Leicester City at 10 a.m. And I see the lineups: Sterling, De Bruyne, Mahrez up front for City, Ayoze Perez, Iheanacho, and Lukman up for Leicester. Now their defense is just devastated right now. There's no Johnny Evans. There's no Soyuncu. Vestergaard is playing, but he's been injured for a while now. I think that's his second game maybe back after injury. So I think it's going to be a very tough game for Leicester.
Yeah, it probably was going to be a tough game for them anyway. But especially with all these players missing, yeah, I don't think it's going to be too good for them today. Which makes us have somewhat of an easy side to choose, but still tough to find value with Man City being such heavy favorites and with Leicester having players out. because before they had players that I kind of liked both teams to score in it, but yeah, like I said before, Man City and over 2.5 is way too expensive. I think that's still like minus 210. I kind of like taking Man City's team total over 2.5. That's I mean, it's still a little bit juicy. The last I looked, it was around the minus 140 range.
Minus 200 right now,
Minus 200.
which is just crazy.
Okay, yeah, then never mind. Yeah, so that's with Leicester having all those players out, and that was last night. So now, are you talking about Man City to win and over 2.5, or their team total over two and
No, just team total over 2.5 is minus 200 right now.
Okay, yeah, well then never mind. I have no idea. I mean, I would have looked for value for Leicester to score here, but not with all those players out. So
Yeah.
I would use this only for a. I think it's a decent parlay piece actually to take Man City. Um, I would not take their team total then. If you use it a parlay piece, I would say take Man City to win and over 2.5, and I would throw that in with Arsenal on the money line, and that should be a pretty decent little parlay piece for you.
City at over 2.5 is about minus 225 right now, which is a nice parlay odds. Now, I know that yesterday odds in City were minus 700, like they were minus 700 favorites. Now they're minus 800 favorites already.
Hmm.
The over is minus 350 over 2.5. And like I said, the team total is minus 200 on City. I mean, we could try and stretch that to over 3.5 team total for plus 120, but then we gotta expect City to score 3 goals. I mean, they were scoring a lot as of late. They have scored what 14 goals in 3 games or something like that.
Yeah,
Maybe I don't know.
they've been scoring a lot, and that's the thing. They haven't been conceding, which is why I would go for a contrarian play. If Leicester had a full roster, I think they would score, and it could push that total to Man City and over 3.5. But I think counting on Man City alone to score four, it's not like they don't have the ability to do it. But when you're going over 3.5, you definitely, or at least I am anyway, wanting to think the other team can contribute, and I don't know if Leicester can here.
Yeah, I think that the best bet here is to take first half goals over 1.5. That's minus 125 right now. So I think that's the best bet. But as far as the player goal scorer props goes, Hannah, yeah, definitely. I see that De Bruyne, Sterling, and Mahrez, all of them have plus 100 to score at any time, and I would take pretty much any of them to score, especially Sterling, who scored what in 5 of their last 6 games.
Yeah, Raheem Sterling, he's been a pretty good bet.
Yeah,
Kevin De Bruyne, he is that's never a bad idea either. But yeah, with Sterling, because I know sometimes he's on penalty duties and stuff too, so which is always good.
yeah,
Good
definitely.
morning, Michael. Happy Boxing Day to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, I do like that take though. I think that was what I gave in the recorded video. Yeah, so you took the 1.5. If you guys want to take, if you're looking for first half goals and want to take the 1.25, then if it lands exactly on one goal, you push half and lose half. But if it hits two, then you win your full bet.
You got anything else to add for this game, Ashley? We know that City is at the top of the table right now. Not only they are well, actually they're not the best offensive team. They scored less than Liverpool, but they're by far the best defensive team with only 9 conceded goals in 18 games. They have 3 points ahead of Liverpool, and it's very important in the EPL. If you're at the top of the table, like over Christmas, that's basically like I don't know 70% chance that you will win the title. But we'll see when, like, once the Champions League starts again, we'll see if they can handle it on both fronts. But I think they're a pretty good team. They're a deep team, and I think
Oh
they're
yeah.
gonna have a great season.
Yeah, they're on fire right now, which is good for them. But like I said, it makes it difficult for us bettors, though, because when a team's playing that well, it's just really hard to find value. And taking them to shut the other team out. I mean, I just did that this morning with the Scottish team against a horrible side, and so that's just a bet that I typically stay away from. So yeah, that's comfortable win for Man City. So yeah, either like Goran said, do you going for first half goals, or I think just using it as a parlay piece is a good idea.
Yeah. Oh, Ashley, you mentioned Arsenal. They're playing against Norwich City on the road, and the lineups are out as well. Uh, Aubameyang is still out of the Arsenal team, so
Yeah,
they
he's
do have a
gone.
few injuries. I see the lineups now. Lacazette is up top leading the charge. Odegaard is behind him. Saka on the right and Martinelli on the left. Partey and Shaka are in the middle. God, I hate Shaka. That player is so dumb. Tierney, Magalhaes, Holding, and Ben White are at the back, and Ramsdale is on goal. I will kind of think that they will miss Smith Rowe, who's on the bench for this game because he's been playing outstanding soccer this season for them.
Yeah.
But Arsenal overall has, I mean, like they have improved so much since the start of the season, and they're in the top four right now.
Yeah, and like you said, missing Smith Rowe because he's been playing so well that he got caught up to the national team, which was really cool. But yeah, even with him being a key piece missing, um, I'm on Arsenal today, so I didn't take them on the. So on Bovada right now, I think they're listed. They're minus 1.25. I just took the minus one to give myself, the ability for the chance to push. So unfortunately, I'm going to go against Norwich here, which, if it's anything like the Scottish match I was just on, it means that Norwich will be getting their first really big win here today. So, but I'm on Arsenal minus one personally. So,
I mean, it's really hard to bet against Arsenal right now, and especially when they're playing against Norwich, the team that's barely scoring goals and yet they're conceding a ton.
that's what I'm saying. But you just watched the way my earlier match went. Norwich is going to win like 4-0 or something insane like that.
Wouldn't that be a great
It's
Christmas
going to be
present?
like breaking like headline news all over like the London papers.
Yeah, I don't think that will happen. Can Norwich score? I think they definitely can because they have a solid team. Let's be honest, they have a solid team. They just can't get out of the. I don't know what is it pressure or I don't know something gets to them, and every time they get promoted to the EPL, they are completely different than the team they were the season before in the championship, where they were dominant, in scoring goals, and I don't know.
Well, they just don't have the depth. I mean, they don't have the money to compete and go out and buy the players, of like a Chelsea and Man United and, even Tottenham and all these teams. So, yeah, and that's probably just going to be the case until their owners come off of a whole lot of money and get some star players. They're just going to keep getting relegated back down. But I'll still keep my jersey.
Well, it's a nice jersey.
Yeah, it is.
I, I Norwich is in the last place with 10 points. They have scored only 8 goals so far, but they're not that much worse than Watford or Burnley or I don't know Newcastle right now. And these
Yeah, but
four
that's
teams are
kind of
within
like
3 points.
yeah, that's true. But it's like they're not much worse than these shitty teams. I don't know how good that is.
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, I think, like you said, there's a chance they score. I'm honestly hoping that they don't today, because when I'm on Arsenal minus one, but I'm hoping that that minus one is at least a free hit. I am expecting Arsenal to win. So, if they only win by one, then it's a push. So, yeah, hopefully that's the worst I do here.
Yeah, we'll see if Norwich. They're still within the reach to save themselves. They just gotta start scoring a bit more goals. If you put the defense to the side, all the other teams at the bottom are defensively terrible. So all they
Yeah.
need is kind of score a little bit more goals, especially against the teams that are their competition at the bottom. But
Yeah.
I do like Arsenal minus one. The price is not that great. The price is right now minus one. That's minus 125. That's pretty solid, though.
Yeah, that's a little better than what I got it at.
I would take that. Yeah, definitely. I think that's the best bet here because, I mean, Arsenal on the money line at minus 225. That's maybe for a parlay. If you're
Yeah.
building a parlay for the day, then take that. But, it could easily happen that Arsenal scores 4 goals here, and it could easily happen that they score only one and win 1-0. So I
Yeah.
think that, yeah.
I think that I think that's a perfect actually parlay piece because I can see them kind of winning by a goal and the minus one maybe being a push. I mean, hopefully not, but I think that Arsenal money line is the perfect parlay piece to take like Man City and over 2.5. I think I would just put those together, and that should be a pretty decent price. Just those two. Don't
Yeah.
push it any further.
Now we got a third game in 10 a.m. Ashley, and that's Tottenham and Crystal Palace. What are your thoughts about that one?
Yeah. So still waiting. Have they done the lineups yet?
Yes,
So
they did.
okay. So and Crystal Palace is out some key people, right?
Zaha's up top, Edwards up top, and Jordan Ayew is up top. They have Gallagher in the middle, Chico Coyate and Will Hughes, Tyler Mitchell, James Tompkins, Joachim Anderson, and Joel Ward at the back.
Well, I like Tottenham here, and some of it's going off of just historically on Boxing Days, them playing really well, and against this Crystal Palace team specifically. So I think there's some decent value with the team total of Tottenham. So they typically, I think they've been averaging over 3, like on these Boxing Day matches, which granted they're not the same team that they have been, but they are improving under Conte. So I think there's some value in taking their team total over 1.5. When I looked a little while ago, it was around like the minus 122 range.
It is.
Yeah, so I think Tottenham can put up 2 here, and then it doesn't matter what Crystal Palace does.
Yeah, I do like Tottenham over 1.5 team total. I think they're playing really well. They are improving constantly under Conte. They have all of their players available right now, and the lineup for them is Harry Kane is up top. Son and Mora are behind him, and then in the middle we have Regulion, Skip, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, and Emerson is on the right side, and then we have Tanganga, Eric Dyer, and Davison Sanchez at the back. Dele Alli is on the bench. Dombele, Harry Wings, Bergwijn also on the bench. I mean, this is a pretty solid team. The team that can score goals. And now that Harry Kane has finally got another goal, I think that might be his first or second in EPL this season. I think second.
Yeah, second.
And against this, I don't know, Crystal Palace is also a decent team, but their defense is not that good. I mean, they can score. They can definitely score against Tottenham, but the price on the money line of Tottenham right now is minus 143. That used to be minus 30, minus 130 the other day. So that has gone up a bit, but I still like it. I mean, the Tottenham on the money line, I think that's a pretty solid bet for this game because I think they will win. But I personally like Harry Kane to score at any time at minus 125.
Yeah, and on my book, that was actually plus 105 about an hour ago. So, yeah, I think Harry Kane to score anytime is a good look. And then for Son, he was at like plus 135. He's been playing really well too. I think both of those are worth a look. But I do know that Conte is wanting to really, really focus on Harry Kane being that center forward and getting him scoring. Hasn't come to fruition yet, but it should. So it definitely, especially, I don't know if I would lay money with it, but at a little plus money, it's worth a shot. I could, and he does. The team historically does well on Boxing Day, and he specifically, personally, does really well. I think he has the second most goals in the EPL on a Boxing Day match. With I think it's like 8 or something, and then some other guy has 9. So yeah, I think just it lines up historically for him to do well today.
Yeah, Tottenham to win and Harry Kane to score is plus 137 right now, which is also pretty good. I think that's pretty likely to happen in this game. So I might be putting something on that. Now I see Gerardo Arsenal over 2.5. I honestly wouldn't stretch that. I mean, it could happen, yeah, definitely. But Arsenal on money line and City and over 2.5. I think that's your best parlay you can have right there.
Yeah,
It's minus 103, but it's not bad. It's almost even money. So
yeah, and like too in this sport. I mean, when you do parlays, it's not like other sports where you're shooting for like just trying to make $700 on a $20 bet or something. You're just trying to take matches that you're kind of priced out of. and get it around a reasonable line, which is at -103 is, more than reasonable. I would lay that on this is the only sport where you would be laying a price on a parlay. But yeah, I would lay with those two teams together, like probably up to -130 even.
Yeah. Now we have two teams that are not playing really well right now. They're not in great form. They might be playing well, but they're not in good form. And that's West Ham and Southampton. That's the last 10 a.m. matchup for today, Ashley. The lineups are out, and I think that West Ham is missing Mikael Antonio right now. Actually, he's on the bench, so he might enter the game. But he is their leading goal scorer so far this season, and I think they might miss him in the starting lineup here.
Yeah, and this is just one that I'm altogether just staying away from. So, West Ham, they started out pretty well, and I was kind of on them a little bit, but they've kind of waned lately. So they're just kind of one of those, like when I say I really pick my spots in the EPL. I just kind of stay away from, like I'll take Liverpool right now is playing really well and look for value. But a lot of these teams that are kind of around that mid-table range that are just up and down and all over the place, they're kind of so evenly balanced with each other. I don't really see an edge. I mean, should they beat Southampton? Yes, of course they should. But is it West Ham right now? I just don't view as a team worth putting my money on.
I gotta say, I kind of like West Ham here in this spot. And even though neither team is playing well right now, I think that West Ham has shown a lot more so far this season, and they have deeper team, and their starting lineup for today looks much better than Southampton's does. And let's be honest, Southampton on the road so far this season hasn't been great. They have only one win, three draws, and five losses. Only eight score goals in 9 games. So, and they are averaging just over two conceded goals per game on the road. So, I think that this is a great spot for West Ham to bounce back after they lost in the EFL Cup earlier this week. They lost to Tottenham. What time does Manchester City match start? They start in about 35 minutes. They start at 10 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, and what you're saying is spot on. I mean, West Ham is absolutely a better team. Yeah, I mean, if someone said, "Hey, you have to bet this match," I'm definitely taking West Ham. I just, I'm thinking, with a couple of other games on the board, I just don't think they're in form right now to throw money on them. But if I had to bet a side, they're definitely the side I would go with for sure.
Yeah, and even with neither defense playing consistently well right now, I also like over 2.5 in this one, -138. I do think that Southampton can score one here, but I like West Ham on the money line at -110. I think that would be my bet to go with. And I mean, if you want to risk it a little bit, you can take West Ham to win it over 2.5. That's +175 right now. But honestly, I'm staying with West Ham on the money line in this one.
Yeah, at -110, I mean, you're getting a great price, so I don't see why I'd push it. I think the furthest I would push it is West Ham and over 1.5. But yeah, definitely, I wouldn't push it over 2.5. Not when you're getting such a great price. Like why add more trouble
Yeah,
to your bet if all you need them to do is win at -110. So
yeah, exactly. Now, this should be pretty interesting matchup, Ashley. Aston Villa and Chelsea.
yes, it should be. I was thinking, that it was going to be a little bit more interesting before Aston Villa had some issues with COVID, and Chelsea getting Lukaku back. So I kind of liked taking the +0.75 with Aston Villa, but not now. So their coach isn't going to be there. He's one of the ones with the COVID issue. So I just think with Thomas Tuchel with Chelsea, with their defense that's been struggling, I think it might be a good spot with Aston Villa's coach out. I just think that he's too good of a tactician. He'll probably find a way to pull it out here. I can see both teams scoring with the way that Chelsea's defense has been playing lately. But yeah, with Gerrard not there, and then a really good tactician on the sideline at Chelsea, I would tend to side with Chelsea in this one.
Yeah, I would agree. And the price is pretty solid with all the all the COVID stuff that Aston Villa has right now. Uh, I was kind of leaning towards both teams to score in this game just because we know the Chelsea's defense isn't very consistent right now. And they also still have a few injuries and COVID cases and whatnot.
Right.
Now, I you mentioned that Lukaku is back, but I don't think he will be playing because all the COVID players who were out, they haven't been practicing with the team for the last week or so. So I don't think that neither Lukaku or Havertz or Werner will be in the lineup for this game. But this is the team that still has a lot to give and still have a lot of options to go with, right? So I mean, Chelsea at the minus 143 on the money line. I'm not sure if I would put my money on it for that price, but maybe take the over at plus 120. I like the overs at plus money, especially because I still think that even with the players missing, Aston Villa can score one here because they have been playing really well since Gerrard took over. But we'll see if him not being on the bench will have kind of a big effect on this team. But my go-to would be the over in this game.
Yeah, and I love the over before the Aston Villa issues, especially with their coach, because they are playing so much better with him. So that's why I'm kind of thinking that with him not being there is going to be a bigger deal to that club than it might be for some. So yeah, for me, I would lean Chelsea, but like you said, I mean, at that price with the way their defense have been struggling, I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not betting that one personally either.
Yeah. Now we have a matchup at 3 p.m. Actually, that's the game that I honestly don't expect to be very pretty, but then those games tend out to be kind of the gems of the day. We have Brighton and Brentford playing, and Brighton hasn't won a game almost 3 months to the date. To be honest, their last
Yeah,
game was in September, their last win, and they're not playing well right now. I mean, but they're facing Brentford right now, and that's the team that they should beat if they want to do something out of their season. But I think it's
yeah.
going to be a, I'm not going to say boring game, but I don't think it's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, I would have thought that it would be like more towards the beginning of the season. So, for you guys who don't know, Brentford is just a newly promoted side, just like my Norwich, who's horrible right now. But Brentford, they're actually performing like pretty well um, in the first few matches of the season. Definitely looking like the best promoted side, better than Norwich or Watford. But that's kind of waned a little bit. Chelsea recently shut him out, which is not a lot of shame in that. But yeah, it's just a Brighton team that can't win right now, a Brentford team that's kind of trending downwards. So I would, for me to, I mean, Brighton should win, but should just doesn't typically work out in the betting world. The only advice I could give you on this match is if you had to bet it, just flip a coin and see what the hell that says because I have no advice on this one.
Yeah, I'm looking at the injury list for. I mean, I'm not sure if those are updated injury list or what, but both teams still have a ton of injuries, especially Brighton. They have one, two, three, six, 10 players out, and Brentford has 7 players out for this game. Now, if that's true, if that turns out to be true, and all of these players are not available for either teams, I honestly will go with the draw in this game because Brighton has 4 draws in their last 6 games. Like I said, they haven't won a game in 3 months, and Brentford isn't playing much better right now. Uh, I mean, Brentford on the road has 2 wins, 4 draws, and 2 losses, while Brighton at home has 2 wins, 3 draws, and 3 losses. So I think that everything is pointing towards the draw in this one, and it's at plus 240. So I would sprinkle something on that, and that's about it that I would be willing to take in this game.
Yeah, and that's a strong draw line too. Like we always say, it's like that plus 240 and lower range. Yeah, then that's telling you it's pretty decent odds of a draw. Of it ending in a draw. So yeah, it's worth a shot. I mean, and sometimes that's the way to go when both teams are. You don't really see much of an advantage on one side. If you
Yeah.
don't see a lot separating the two teams, then just put like a third of a unit on a draw.
Especially with all the injuries the teams have now and COVID cases and stuff.
Right.
So,
Yep.
no, actually, I know that Belgium is one of your favorite leagues. So, Let's jump onto that one. We got a couple of games.
They
Actually,
usually are, yeah. So I this Club Bruges match, that was they really needed to make a push for it there to stay towards the top of the table, but they actually just got shut out 2-0. I wasn't on the side; I was on totals. They needed one more goal in that match, and if someone would have told me Club Bruges was not going to score, I would have, yeah, never believed that. But the remaining ones, so Saint Joa, you guys hear me talk about them a lot. I love that team. I could see that one. I see both teams scoring. So maybe going for like a both teams to score and over, or just strictly going with the over if it's not set, higher than three. I don't like betting totals higher than three. I will do it sometimes, but usually like in the Bundesliga. Um, but yeah, I don't like betting higher than a three because it still leaves the chance to push on the table, right? But I mean, in all of the three remaining ones, I like both teams to score and over. Uh, but I also like that one in the first one I bet that ended 2-0. So
yeah. Good morning, Christopher, and Merry Christmas to you as well.
yes, good morning, Christopher. Merry Christmas.
I'm gonna say the only game from this Belgium league I have today is Saint Gillois and Ghent, and that's I have that on the over 2.5 in my preview. So I mean, Ghent has been scoring a lot as of late, but they have also been conceding a lot. And we know that Saint Gillois can score goals and they can also concede goals, but they are on a nice winning streak right now, and they are at the top of the table, and they need their wins to stay there because, well, luckily for them, Club Brugge lost, so they're now 6 points ahead, which could be 9 points at the end of this game, and that's going to be a nice confidence boost for them for the rest of the season. I, because I don't think this team has ever won the title in Belgium, so this is the perfect chance for them because we see that Club Brugge is very inconsistent this season. Anderlecht is not playing well. Antwerp is very inconsistent. Pretty much everybody who can be in the title run is very inconsistent this season, and they're not playing really well. But Saint Gillois is playing pretty consistently well. They're scoring goals, they're winning games, and this is the perfect season for them as of right now. And I think they
Yeah.
might win the title. So I would actually side with them in this game because they need the win. And for plus 137, and that's just on the money line. So sprinkle something on that. I would even stretch that uh, to over 2.5 and say Giloa to win for plus 250. So maybe sprinkle something on that as well, guys.
Yeah, and all those Saint Joa players, they also realize that Club Brugge just lost today too. So that's probably going to be even as though they didn't already have enough motivation. That's probably going to give them a little bit more to come out and try to snag these 3 points and just win outright. So yeah,
Exactly.
Club Brugge losing did them a favor and did me a non-favor. So
Well, somebody has to pay for it.
yep, it's me.
Now, Ashley, there is one matchup in Turkey Super League, and that's Fenerbahce and Yeni Malatispor, if I'm saying that correctly. Do you have
Yeah.
anything in that game?
It's well, typically when Fenerbahce are involved, I mean, I pick my spots, but I'll usually take them in like over 2.5. Excuse me, but yeah, the Turkish league has been really, really odd. So that's like what most of us cappers were on the last few days. But yeah, I mean, I I probably still would take that today. All right, honestly, I'm gonna just stay with the over of 2.5, which is usually a safe bet when Fenerbahce are involved. And but like I said, what a weird. I think all four of the Super League matches yesterday went under, which is just unheard of in that league.
Yeah,
That's like the day when all the matches went under in Germany Bundesliga. So yeah, but my lean would be to the over of 2.5 in that one.
yeah, that's minus 188 right now, which is not a great price. Maybe if you're
No,
building a parlay, so
yeah, but no, you can just take the over 2.75 then. That's what I do. I wouldn't
yeah,
worry.
but the Turkish Super League is very weird this season, and like we know of all the big teams, you have Besiktas, you have Galatasaray, you have Fenerbahce. They are nowhere near the top this season. Besiktas is in seventh place. Galatasaray is 10th. Fenerbahce is sixth, and then You take a look at the top four. You have Trabzonspor. Okay, they're one of the most iconic teams in Turkey. So
And they're
they're
playing really odd lately too. Yeah, I mean
yeah,
they're not scoring much lately. So yeah, the league is just kind of all over the place right now.
yeah. You have Konyaspor, who's in the second place. Başakşehir is in third place. Okay, they have won the title a few seasons ago. Adana is in fourth place. Hatayspor is in fifth. I mean, those are the teams that are usually in the middle or at the bottom of the table. So something flipped over in the Turkish Super League, and I don't know. It's kind of nice to see. It's kind of refreshing, but that only means that our favorite teams are losing this season, and there's absolutely no money or value like on betting on them this season. So I'm definitely gonna skip in this game, but I think that maybe the over 2.5, if you really want to bet this game, over 2.5, because Yeni is one of the worst defensive teams in the league. So I think that might hit in this game, but that's about it.
Yeah, and then like this Indian Super League I told you guys about, started to put this as a premium. So the over of 2.5, to keep offering that at a good price. There's already 2 goals in 37 minutes. So
Yeah,
that one started too soon for me to tell you guys to get on. But watch out for that Indian Super League.
I think that's about it for today, Ashley. As we mentioned, Syria Bay got postponed completely.
Yeah.
We got a few postponed matchup in the EPL, but I think we covered pretty much everything unless you have something else to add.
No, I mean, I was really looking forward to Liverpool playing because, man,
Yeah,
how awesome it is to watch them this season. But unfortunately, that's one of the ones that got postponed. So won't be able to see that one.
I would say that's about it for today, guys. We'll be back tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Oh, actually, let's do a quick recap of that game in the EPL for tomorrow. Ashley, we have Manchester United playing, and that's gonna be before our live show. Newcastle United versus Manchester United at 3 p.m.
Yeah. Oh
Come
God.
on, pull a rabbit out of your head, Ashley. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, Man United should win this game. Newcastle is just a dumpster fire this season. I mean, they have a fantastic player in Saint Maximin, but yeah, God, but I mean, Man U should win. Okay, but I don't know.
Yeah, I
I'm
personally
not.
am gonna go with Manchester United and over 2.5 in that for plus
Well,
110.
I could have told you that. Of course
Yeah,
you.
no, you didn't.
And I think it's a good bet too. It's just, Man U, they should, if they don't beat Newcastle by at least a couple of goals, then there's something even more wrong than we think there is. They should win this game somewhat comfortably, I think.
Yeah, I think they will. I think it's going to be a great game for them because they have also been improving since the new coach took over. There's been some new rules, some new regime in that team, and now they're facing one of the weakest teams in the league, especially defensively.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to have a nice game. So that's about it, guys, that we have. So in the meantime, go check the rest of our videos at YouTube, Pink Dogs channel. Hit that like button, subscribe. And as I've mentioned, we'll be seeing you again tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Eastern with some more free winners for Tuesday. We got 6 games in EPL, so check our best bets, Pink Dogs previous sections. I know that Ashley's gonna be putting up another pack right now. My game is still up. My game started 10, so go check that out and have a nice holidays, guys. Have a nice Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks, Gilda, for joining us too. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Little loyal follower there. So yeah, y'all have a good one. We will see you tomorrow afternoon.
See you guys.